Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. It's good to be seen. Hey, I wanted to talk and catch everybody up from the last video. Look, the reason I put the PRA's web address, the reason I put Thailand government's web address up there is so that if you hear something, if you feel something, that information is just not right, I would suggest, ask, beg you, go to the government website. If you hear something that, oh man, that can't be right, go to the government website. That's why I put it up there, so that you have that as a resource. And the second thing I wanted to talk about too is I had a little bit of pushback. I'm still getting pushback, interesting pushback on different videos. And one of the funniest ones was on the $80 apartment. Somebody had made a comment like, well, you certainly did like it 3 years ago. And my comeback to that is, well, yeah, I did 3 years ago. So I lived in that $80 apartment for 2 years. I think Steve has been in his apartment for 5 years. I think Gary has been in his apartment for many, many years, but they have made their apartments their own. Their apartments are quiet. I mean, they're happy there, and I love it for them. So my point of this comment is that I lived there 2 years. I tried to make it work. I made an effort to make it work. And when it didn't work for me, I moved on. And I would suggest you do the same. And that's actually what I said, I think, either in a live stream or in the video. So with that, moving on, I want to talk about something in the subject matter. I had somebody 3 years ago tell me this. Man, Richard, you're obsessed with this move. And at first I was like, man, that's a bad thing. And then I thought about what they said, and they're correct. I was obsessed with the move. I can't tell you guys, how many hours I spent on research. Well, I spent about 1.5 years to 2 years actually talking about it, planning it. I spent probably a year talking about it, and then another year with dead on planning it, just straightforward planning it, with contacting embassies, contacting people, contacting bloggers, watching blogs. I kept a file for everything. I kept a file of the blogs that I liked and the information I wanted to follow up in those blogs. And that's literally why I'm here on Steve's channel, because I found Steve's information to be consistent. I found Steve's information to be repetitious, which was good for a guy like me. The emergency fund, the health insurance, the living a good lifestyle, staying away from toxic people. He's done a lot of videos on that. Why? Because it's important. That's why. And I took a lot of his advice and took it to heart. And, we became friends. Even though, with all that being said, I came over here not knowing Steve. I had never met him. I'd watched his videos. I went through Mary Rose and Thelma without Steve. So I did all of that legwork and all of that, minutia by myself. And then I met Steve after I had my SSRV. And it took a couple of attempts to get to meet him. The point of it is that I was obsessed with the knowledge, and not just one person's knowledge. And that's why I keep putting up on these videos the web address for the PRA, the web address for the Thailand government, and I would suggest, if you hear something, you guys, if you hear something that's doesn't sit right with you, go check it out. Don't just take a blogger's word for it. And I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying, and I don't want to get into politics because I'll delete that crap if it does come up. I'm saying that's part of the problem in a lot of the world. They see something on some far out fruitcake, and then it's like, oh, that's the truth. Well, it's the same thing with coming over here. You'll see and hear people say things, and you're like, that doesn't sound right. And then you go to the official website, and it's not right. So that's kind of was my obsession. I was obsessed with every detail. My bullet buy-in box, healthcare, emergency fund, where I'm going to live. I didn't do enough work on that. I'll be honest with you on that. I definitely needed to travel more in Philippines, and I've said it 10 times, and I keep saying it. And I'm going to travel more in the Philippines. But the point is that I was obsessed. I was obsessed with coming here, and it really helped me. I can't tell you, my credit cards were ready for the most part. My phone was ready for the most part. So, everything, you have little tiny things fall through the cracks. Fast forward to about 3 weeks ago. I had another good friend tell me, wow, you're really obsessed with Muay Thai. And first when she told me that, I was a little bit ticked. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Why are you saying that? And then I thought about it. I'm like, she's right. I have chosen Muay Thai here in Thailand. I didn't have it in the Philippines. And I wish I had found something like it in the Philippines. I might still be there. The point is that I'm immersed in the Muay Thai family here in Thailand. And I'm getting to know more and more dojos. I'm getting to know more and more schools, more and more fighters. And I like the training. I like the camaraderie. I like the culture of Muay Thai. So the point is that being obsessed is what I am about it. And then just today, I saw a video from my teacher in America, and it was dealing with obsession. I'm actually going to put his link down here below. And he said it perfectly. He said overachievers or achievers in general have to be obsessed because there's so many choices, so many bad choices. And Hanshi Geyston was talking about eating. I have struggled with my weight for the last 20 years. Since I've been in Asia, I've lost 10 kilos. And by the end of 25, I'm saying it to you that I will lose another 4 kilos. So that will bring me, I've lost, and for you that want the American version or the English version, I've lost 50 pounds. Over 50 pounds since I've come to Asia. And I want to lose another 25. I will lose another 25. So I'm obsessed with it. And Hanshi Geyston said that on the obsession, it keeps you not eating chocolate. Well, that's not altogether true for me, but it keeps you going to class when you don't feel like going to class. It keeps you going out and taking pictures when you really would rather stay home and watch Netflix. It keeps you interacting with people, the obsession. So getting back to the obsession and the expat, if you're obsessed with coming here, I think more power to you. When I left America for here, and I don't know what your reasons are, but I wasn't running from anything. I wasn't coming here because I couldn't get a date. I wasn't coming here because I hated America. I've served my country twice. I love my country. I love my friends in America. I love the country as a whole. I miss it. I really miss the food sometimes. I really miss corn dogs and super tacos and other stuff that I shouldn't be eating anyway. But that's not the point. The point is that I was obsessed with adventure. And with that I said, I want to tell one quick story about an expat that I know. So I met an expat here in Thailand. He originally came to the Philippines, like me. He came to the Philippines and then he came to Thailand. And then he decided to go back to the Philippines. Well, he went back to the Philippines and he's been there maybe 2 or 3 months. And now he wants to go to Mexico. I looked at going to Mexico. All my friends, not all my friends, many of my friends wanted me to go to Mexico because of the proximity to America. Duh. You could either drive or fly in a relatively quick time frame to get to any one of the border towns. So with getting back to my friend, he's obsessed with adventure. He's obsessed with traveling, and good for him. If that's what he wants to do, more power. You be you, I'll be me. Great. So with that being said, and going to the subject matter, obsession sometimes is a good thing. As long as it's not creepy. As long as it's not a Jodie Foster kind of obsession. I was obsessed with writing a play after several of my friends died. And I did it. I wrote a play and it was in the San Francisco Fringe Festival. And it was sold out almost all 8 performances. I wanted to make a movie. I was obsessed with it. And so I gathered up 6 figures and I wrote a script and I filmed, not digital, I filmed a movie. It was horrible. I loved it like a redheaded stepchild, but because I didn't go to college, I shouldn't say that, because I didn't reach out to other people, it was a flop. And then I was obsessed with going to college. I went to college, you guys, at like 50. And it was such a great experience, but I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with jumping from a plane. I was obsessed with joining the service. So I'm saying take that obsession and turn it into positive power. Let me know what you think. I'm always interested in your feedback. This is Rich in Asia, currently in Thailand. We'll talk to you next time.
She's not getting my kidneys.
Well, now that would explain the breast thing. I mean, her having them and no penis and all.